Are we live? Are we live? Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, if you guys want to support my brand, it's inspiredbydreams.shop. And that's the place you guys can go and just get your little, dress outside of the box. I have a new drop in there. You guys take a look at it right before Valentine's Day. That's just a hint. You guys can take a look at it if you want to dress, outside of the box and have some new designs that just don't look like anybody else. And yeah, it covers that. So you guys go check that out. And my people, how are we doing this Monday, man? My energy's up. I'm feeling good. Great weekend. As we all know, I have to start with giving the congratulations to the Eagles, man. And when it comes down to Philly, they make it look easy because, I mean, they ran through the whole game and didn't give any of their supporters any doubt that they wasn't going to get to that the trophy and get those rings shining and put them in the air. So congratulations to the Eagles, man. I don't know, man. It just felt so. They felt like sometimes this is a good example of sometimes it's not about your opponent. Sometimes winning the war is all about within yourselves. And when you have that, you have a structure, you have a blueprint ready to win, and you have that energy about yourself. Can't nothing stop you, baby. So congratulations to the Eagles. And let's stay on the field on this one. Also, we have to give a big congratulations to Kendrick Lamar, man. What a great performance. I love Kendrick's performance. I love the choices he picked for his songs. Just letting people know that, he can control this. And even though he did have, SZA, you have to understand all of that music, all choreo, it's just, he tackled it all, man. He tackled it all. I'm really happy for Kendrick. I'm really happy to see that he's taking this and he's using what he always wanted, because it seems like in these times people they feel like when to make it to the top is only one person. And if you was a past fan, or even if you're a new fan of Kendrick Lamar, if you look back at his past work, man, everything that Kendrick Lamar has done up to this point is well deserved. So I'm really, really happy for Kendrick Lamar. And yeah, man, I love the way he went out there. He was just doing his thing. And another thing, everybody's always looking for this, like, I seen it going around about his chain with the A minor, and they kind of like put that towards it, but that's not what it was all about. And everybody wants to attach. Trust me, you guys, attaching somebody else's. Kendrick doesn't need all of these attachments for him to highlight who he really is. He already showed us who he was, and this battle has been won already. So I'm just happy to see that everything turned out right, and there wasn't any deaths or anything's going crazy. No planes in the air. Everything is going the way it should, and I'm just happy for that. So once the good energy is in the air, and also for the Chiefs, making it all the way up to this point, you guys, it's not like everybody has a win and everybody has their time. So this time was the Eagles' time, and I could see the Gilly dance already. I could just see Gilly dancing. I ain't see him yet, but I know I'm gonna see him celebrating, because I didn't get a chance to jump on YouTube and see what's going on. After this is all over, I know when I turn on that YouTube, oh my goodness, I know so many different stories and everything going. Before we get more into it, I also have a surprise video drop today for you guys, and as well as a hoodie drop. But at 12 p.m., you guys stay tuned to 12 p.m. when you guys are going to lunch. I got a new conversation coming up that I want all my ladies as well as my fellas to jump into this one. And it's going to be a really, 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 really good one. So I want you guys to stay tuned for that. Okay. For all my peoples out there, man, I just want to know how you're doing, your energy out there. You should be on high energy right now. You should be feeling good about yourselves. And for a lot of things had in our community. Before we get into entertainment, seen somebody, a little girl, I believe she had got shot, and I believe it was in Brooklyn. There's so many different things outside that's going on, and for the families out there that can't really they're blurred by their trauma, and they really can't see a time of celebration in these points. healing energy goes out to you guys because I also understand your, where you guys are at too. Sometimes you see it feels like the whole world is celebrating for maybe it could be the Super Bowl or whatever, and you're still in that place of trauma from the people you lost or your lost loved ones. So I want to send some healing energy out to the families that lost, their ones to them, in this, this whole thing, this thing we got going called living life, and just on this earth, we got a lot of things going. And I told you guys, when things are moving so fast, people sometimes forget about the things that really matter, and they kind of replace them for the things that's just, in the way and just up to that. So I just want to just take us back to a point where, we have to understand that not everybody could celebrate at the same time. So be grateful for what you have and the things that the people you're around, because in these times we need all the loving we can. So that's what I just wanted to start off with this Monday morning. So all my peoples out there, all my West Indians, my Black Americans, my white Americans, my Jewish people, everybody out there, all my Haitian people, Sapase, all my peoples out there, I just want to say, what's up, man? Keep loving your heart, man, because these times that we are about to approach is going to be very hard. A lot of people losing their jobs to technology, and people don't really have a heartbeat in the things they do because they just want the money. So I just want you guys to know that there are people still out here, and we still repping for y'all, and we still believe in talents, creativity, imagination, and the things that really count for our lives. Another thing I wanted to bring to the table that I didn't even get a chance to speak to you guys about, with the recent passing of Irv Gotti, I've seen a lot of reactions and things that, went along. I just want to stick to the good ones. And one of them I wanted to highlight was Ashanti. The way, Ashanti, how can I say? She's cool beans. She's just so cool beans. She's humble. And I just appreciate people with her type of strength to know that her past with Irv Gotti is her past, and remembering the good times is what really lasts in these times. And just knowing that she had that sympathy for him, even though she had a little rough towards her end of career with him, it's just good to know that there's still people out there that can forgive and forget, because in these times it's like social media breeds you to be this cancellation person and just cancel him and take him out forever. And that's not the energy that's going to be, it's not going to be energy that's going to be sustainable for ourselves as well as for others. Because guess what? We all make mistakes, and when you take him out, when your mistake comes, guess what? They'll take you out. Then we'll be all out. So let's try to find more than that. There's more to life than that. There's more to life than that. Speaking on, Diddy and his whole thing, I guess we all heard Kanye West in his rant. And I just felt like Kanye West at that point, sometimes we have to all understand as listeners, content creators, that sometimes people there are begging and screaming for attention, no matter what. They want to be seen, they want to be heard. And sometimes what they want us to see or what they want us to hear is not necessarily what we will consider to be, good vibes, or people sometimes say any little thing just to get people mad, or the worst things about people just to get the attention. In other words, what I'm saying. But when it comes down to Kanye and he's just saying free Diddy, he's taken it to the point where he's making free Diddy shirts, which I felt like I told you guys was very disrespectful towards the victims and the people who had to deal with, what Diddy had put him through. But then there's also another side that I had to try to check myself, and I thought back about it. I'm saying to myself, is he really sincere about what he's saying, or is he just doing this for a play because he knows that that's something that can catch traction? And that's when I remembered, it's Kanye. It's Kanye, man. Don't take other people's pain to profit off of it. And this is what I always tell you guys, because 9 out of 10 times when you do things like that, you make money off of another person's pain, and it's not genuine, and you're just saying it so you can get this attention. Eventually, that karma starts to reek with whatever you're doing, because we all, as human beings, like I said before, we all make mistakes. So when I seen that, I did see that his sons, I can understand his sons, his family, fighting for Diddy, because that is mostly expected. It's not, Diddy is not guilty. Diddy is just, he's waiting to go to court. So I don't even understand him asking Donald Trump to pardon a man that didn't even go to trial yet. So it was all weird and everything was going on. And I just thought to myself, you know what? This is probably just a play for attention. And, you know, that's not always the thing to do in these times, because sometimes calling for the wrong attention on the wrong week could put you in a place where you know, people will never look at you the same again. And his image has been tainted. A lot of people don't realize you are who you are. When you come on social media, your story begins there to certain people. To other people that know you offline and other places, the story began somewhere else. But when you jump online, people tend to start judging you on the things that you did. And like I told you, a lot of these people, they try to, you know, they try to save face or try to change their try to persona, but it's not really necessary, like, true. They're it's a play off a promotion to sell something. Like I always tell you guys, you got to be aware of these types of people. Another thing I seen too that it kind of made me think of for a little second that I wanted to bring to you guys. So Nick Cannon, he's sued over Bad versus Wow. And that's on the, I believe that's on the Zeus Network, but you guys also know on Viacom, he has Wildin' Out. Now, Wildin' Out is one of my favorite shows. I always like to catch Wildin' Out. If you want to ever catch some good energy, with a little mix of freestyling, has like a little a playish feel to it, but dope comedians from DC, Young Fly. It has everybody, you know, just always popping up. It's a really, really, Nick Cannon to me is one of the greatest entertainers of all time when it comes down to, you know, black culture. Because I mean, the seasons Wildin' Out have ran, you could just tell. I'm just hoping that within this all being that one company is suing the other company, I'm just hoping that Nick Cannon, he's not getting the worst of this, because he works so hard. I feel like he should have more say than a normal person would be, just because how he builds these companies, you know. And that type of energy, I don't care what you can't buy that energy. You can't buy that type of comedy. It's really dope. So I'm hoping that it doesn't affect with what Nick Cannon has going on. But as far as two companies, this is what I always tell you. That's the reason why people might just think, you know, oh, they're just platforms. Everybody's in cahoots with everybody. No, not necessarily. You could be on both platforms, and that each of those platforms are fighting for your attention, so you don't have to go to the other platform. These people are on different, you know, sites of the map. They're not sharing money. These are different platforms. So you have to take that in mind. And sometimes, you know, and even though, and the name is kind of familiar, but the name still attaches more to Nick Cannon, I feel, than the company. So because I feel like Nick Cannon can take his work anywhere. And I feel like he could still bring that energy. It doesn't have to be just a name. I feel like his work is what got him to this point. That's one thing I would never take away from Nick. Nick is a hard worker, and I feel like, I hope that everything works out all right, because we're living in the times, I told you, I showed you guys the video, where there's a lot of lawsuits going around, and people stealing from other people, and people just want to make sure everything is right in these times, because everything is feeling like, you know, it's your last of this, last of that, last time here, last time there, just because the way social media paints this picture. So I just wanted to say, you know, I just wanted to bring that and make you guys aware of that, if you guys haven't heard that. Oh, another thing on the Serena Williams, she was on the Kendrick Lamar set. That was pretty dope. I don't know, man. You know, I guess that would be a little, if they want to say, oh, he was taking shots at Drake, I guess that would be a little, but then she still represents LA. That's where she's from. She's one of the top. So I don't know, man. People have these whole things. People put their own stories together on these things. All I know, it was a great performance, great show, and I hate attaching, you know, a whole bunch of things to somebody's hard work. I don't like that. I really don't like that. I always like giving people their props, and unfortunately, when it comes to our community and the black culture, we don't really do that often, because it's like almost like a crabs in a barrel. Why would I say that he's the one that first came up with this? Because that will make me look like I don't know things. And yeah, so they got a lot of that going on. You guys know on YouTube, there's a lot of duplication, people trying to, you know, duplicate other people's ideas, but it never really lays out correctly, because it all depends on the audience that's taking it in, if you understand what I'm saying. It's a big world. But next I wanted to, let me see, it was something that, oh, that's another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. And it's kind of, it's almost a little surprise when it comes down, 12 o'clock, you guys pay attention, because the hint I would give you guys, it's on relationships in a way, 12 p.m., the video I'm dropping. But let's talk about Cardi B and Offset is kind of, they're saying Offset was kind of going off, he was a little tight behind this whole, I believe his name is Stefon Diggs. And, you know, my whole thing is because I didn't keep up with what was going on between Offset and Cardi at the time. It's just so many things going on. I just can't keep up with other people's relationships when I have my own and things that I have going on that I have to keep up with. So from what I'm hearing is Offset felt some kind of way that she was with this. You know, when it comes to relationships, all I can say is you have to know your partner, and if you guys are gonna form a bond, somebody coming in and breaking what you guys have means that there was something flawed in this relationship. And what people have to understand, just because somebody has kids with somebody doesn't necessarily mean that a person is not going to go on with their life and try to find new love and try to find things, because it's all about trust, man. If you can't trust somebody, then it makes no sense of you being around them, no matter what you guys got going on. And it's sad because when it comes to family, you know, in the times we live in, we need more structured families and we need just more of that. Instead of just, you know, having this, you know, it's almost like this part-time love where, you know, you guys share the kid, and, you know, there's just, everything is not, it's not in sync like how it should be. And even though things don't always work out, let's just try to find ways where we try to solve situations, because the first things that happen in any types of situations when it comes to love, people run and they try to find something outside, not knowing that what was the problem that they left. So I don't know when it comes down to that. I know if they're not together, what do you expect people to do? It's just like Remy and Easy, and then you have Papoose and Clarissa. I believe that's her name. Yes, Clarissa Shields. They together. So you got to find a way to work your life out. If love is what you're looking for, the real true love, then it's going to be a fight in these times. But at the same time, you don't stop looking for it. But if you guys are committed, like in a relationship or something, this is the reason why you don't want to jump into marriage and things like that. Commitment's too strong, because that's when things get sticky. And yeah, I don't know. You said King Von is still the GOAT. Yo, I got a lot of love for Chicago. You don't even know. Sometimes in Chicago, I just go and watch your documentaries, and I got a different outlook on the people of Chicago, the way things are going. And sometimes I feel like, damn, why are you doing that? And sometimes I feel so hurt about what's going on. Like, some people don't understand. Like, yeah, King Von was dope, and there's a lot of dope MCs that lost their life coming out of Chicago. That I just feel like was just lost in this street thing. The streets has been killing so many people. I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of people killing their own people when they could have, if you really, like, just amount up the whole drill. If you amount up how much money it really made, it's a lot. It's a lot of money that they didn't even have to go at it like that. Because once you start making the buzz for yourself, the fighting that you guys are doing should just stay on music at that point. But it seems like people think that just taking somebody's life, it's just that type of pain. It doesn't, oh man, it just doesn't, you don't ever get the at the end of the movie, you know, you're not, it's like Carlito's Way, you never really get out alive at the end. And it saddens me because a lot of people didn't deserve it. You know, it's one thing, it's just like youngins fighting and things like that, but man, there's so many great artists, man. So many great artists came out of Chicago, man. And just not going too far away, I would say cousins of Chicago out there in Detroit. I want to give a rest in peace and healing energy to J Dilla's family, because J Dilla recently, if you guys don't know who J Dilla is, just because you brought up Kanye, it just gives me a great reminder. Kanye looked up to J Dilla. J Dilla was one of the greatest producers of all time. I always speak on Dilla. They gave him a street, so I'm really happy that, you know, hip hop is still getting that honor that they should, for the people that really deserve that, you know, that type of honor. And I feel like J Dilla deserves a street in Detroit, so I'm very happy to hear that went down, because J Dilla, to just give an example, like, to me, I felt like when I heard J Dilla's beat, just the beat by itself, it almost made it easier for you to write and express your feelings when you hear his beats. If you really sit down with it, some of his beats, it kind of spoke to you. Some of the beats, it sounded like the beat was talking. And that, if you guys really get a chance to just dig into some of J Dilla's instrumentals and you'll realize, no, this guy was completely different. He's the one that sparked the minds of people like Kanye West, and just because from his old days of just producing for Common and Dilla, he had a fair share of MCs in his catalog that you'll be so surprised that that he just really conquered. I really, if you're looking for a producer that really set a different standard in production, J Dilla is the one. So I'm so happy to hear that J Dilla is getting his own street, man. I smiled when I heard that. That's really dope. It's really dope. Some people really, really, really deserve it, and you know some of these great people that we know as MCs and producers get lost around the hype because other people grab other people's attention with certain things that might not be necessarily uplifting for the culture, in other words. So shouts out to J Dilla's family. I'll be rocking out some J Dilla instrumentals, and it's just always filled with, the vibe is always good. Good vibes with Dilla, good vibes. He got some great production with Slum Village too. Dilla was one of the greatest. Another thing, I don't know if this is true. You guys got to really check this out, because if so, this is going to be one of the biggest albums of all time once again. Wu-Tang, man. I'm hearing that Wu-Tang might be dropping a new album. So you guys, I'm not sure. Don't kill me if they don't. You guys got to check with Meth, Ray, Ghost, Riz. You got to check with one of them. Maybe leave it under there. Leave little messages under there. Is this really true? Are y'all dropping another Wu-Tang? Because if so, this is going to be the type of energy and the type of, if they drop it, it's going to be a vitamin. When Wu-Tang drops a whole, everybody on there, and it's going to be a great vitamin for you guys to take and try to break down and have some kind of understanding. I guarantee, for those who haven't went back and checked out the Wu-Tang's catalog, this album, knowing that they dropped something new, it will take you back, because you'll want to hear more. So I'm very excited to know that could be a possibility true. That could be possibility true, that Wu-Tang is dropping another album. If so, man, I mean, because I was watching the documentary a couple days ago, and I keep going back to it, and so many different things in the Wu-Tang's legacy and the Wu-Tang's journey that people as MCs or just normal writers or your average person living in these times could take with them. I'm telling you, there's so much. With so many crews breaking up and things like that. Look at the Wu. So I'm hoping they drop that album. Another thing that kind of got me thinking. R. Kelly, I seen that he's being sued by 6 more victims over unpaid, unpaid millions, they're saying. But my whole thing is with this R. Kelly, like, what, the man is in prison, like, what more do you guys want from him? So is this like a money play? This is one of the reasons why these types of situations get tricky, because look, people's pain doesn't always amount to money. The pain that a person endures sometimes stays with them forever. So there's no real amount of money. So stop. Some people look at this and they take it where, like, they feel like it's a money play to do this. And even though in certain situations it is, I don't know, man. It just feels like, come on, man. The man is already in prison. What are you guys doing? Why is your mind I'm not saying that it's something you can just erase out your mind, but in time, as we all know, the ones who heal are the ones who learn to move on. If you can't move on, then you're going to always be stuck in the same place. And what happens when you're stuck in the same place? There's only one way to go, and that's down, okay? So please, you guys, man, when I hear things like this, don't let these type of situations or things you hear about stick to your head. The real way of, if you want to get through life and you want to do what you want to do and still enjoy a good, peaceful life, just make sure how you treat people is just the way you will want to be treated. And it's so simple. Some of these things we hear and we breeze off because, of these times. But no, these things can be applied to a lot of the things that we're living in today, man. You just got to stay away from all of this negative stuff that's going on, because then it attaches to you. I mean, for real, man. Like I always tell you, good sex, if you drink good drinks, a little smoke, and you all right, good food. You said Drake is coming back better than ever. Yeah, I love Drake. I love Drake. Drake's music, he has great music too. I don't see, and it's not really, it's not even a comeback. That fight is a fight. Sometimes you just gotta know, like, when two people go into a war, a battle, there's gonna be somebody that's gonna take a loss, and there's gonna be another person that takes the win. But at the end of the day, how you move on, as both of you guys still gotta move on, you still gotta live your life. At the end of the day, they both have a lot of money. They, come on, they have a lot of money. They're living their life. All it is left to do is make good music, if you ask me. All of this back and forth beef, and to be honest with you, even though I know it's a lot of hype around it, I ain't really with it. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm still the same, Mickey. I ain't really with it. I wasn't really with it because at the end of the day, man, it's just, I don't know, all the back and forth stuff. I know hip hop is built on competition, but sometimes the competition gets overlooked by the people that don't understand what real competition is really about. That's all I would say on that one. But, oh, did you guys hear about Hit Boy? He's putting up a petition to get his father released from prison. And it's because of bad treatment inside of prison. And this is sad. This is one thing I wanted to bring to you guys too. We have to understand these prisons right now, right now. Nah, these prisons are this is no place to go, no place to be. You won't want to go to these places because these prisons are taking more of your health than your time. And I just think it's because, you have a lot of people that's getting caught for gun violence. And let me tell you, man, in prison, it is no gun, man. You got to use your hands. And a lot of people, it's like a new way of living for these people. People have mental issues and they're being thrown in prison, and now the person that's coming in there for this short stay is ended up staying longer because they're getting themselves in problems. It's just not a place you want to be. So being that Hit Boy is a big producer, his father's probably being looked at like, oh, well, you have opportunity when you get out of here because your son is this and that could form jealousy. That's why I wouldn't even let people know. To be honest with you, if I was hit, and I would try to hide things like that. Things like that sometimes because people look at you different. That would take me a long time to let people know, especially if I'm in a situation where, my son is Hit Boy, and I'm not gonna want people to know that. I'm not gonna. I will probably not even answer to somebody saying that because people have jealous intentions, jealous thoughts, and these are the things that lead to something you can just avoid. You don't need the recognition because you are family to somebody. That's not really what life's about. You don't have to go through that because now you're starting to take on, like, now you gotta be dodging the paparazzi. You don't want to don't clutter your life. Don't clutter your life. I'm hoping the best for Hit Boy's father because in prison, you can't stop somebody for being jealous because whatever mistakes they made, if it was rooted in jealousy, well, that's where they're at. And they're not going to change their jealousy because they're behind the cell. No, they're going to be the most jealous people in jail too, looking over what he eating. Oh, that's so-and-so father. Oh, I got to get him. So I could see where that can go bad for Hit Boy's father, and I could see where people could target him and these are things we really can't avoid because, with so much going on, it's not like they're going to just petition for your father and they're just going to pull him out of prison because you're Hit Boy. There's a lot of people in prison that's celebrities and other things too of status. So it's just sad that if you do have some kind of status in prison, if you don't have the right people or know the right people, you become a target. So that's probably what's going on in Hit Boy's father's whole situation. But I don't know, man. You guys just send some healing energy out there for Hit Boy and just let him know, everything is going to play out the way life wants it to play out. People sometimes don't think that this world is not alive. The world is alive. Earth is alive. Just as alive as the plants and the people with heartbeats, we are alive and we are in the present. So we have to realize the things that we push out there is the same type of energy that we get back. And as God and the Most High would tell it, if you don't think otherwise, you'll always be lost in your direction and where you're going because you'll never really have a sense of who you are if you don't understand that there's somebody bigger and that controls everything that you do. So the play is already made. It's for you to work and walk through to play the way it's made. And we all have options. That's one thing. As human beings in life, we all have different options. So you can go this way, you can go that way. But you know, it's always up to us. And the more we get people to start thinking better and start valuing themselves, the more you'll save money, you'll save time on people you don't want to be around, headaches, stress, and all that stuff. It will drop in level, and the things that you felt like you needed, you won't really even feel that anyway. You won't feel the same way about it. Just knowing that you have it to buy it will be just good enough, so you don't even have to buy it. Because a lot of this stuff right now, the things that we are consuming, all the things are fast food, fast this, fast that, fast love, fast this. And that is the stuff that it doesn't stick around forever. So don't get confused with all the nonsense going around. You guys can skip a few days. Don't let them tell you you can't jump off the social media. You can do whatever you want to do. That shouldn't be a feat for you. You can dibble and dabble within social media so that you don't have a big intake. And that could be just as good as, you know, just turning it off completely. We all have families. We all have people we love outside of this that we do need social media to keep in contact with. So use it to your benefit. Right, Nick. Nick said it the best. Because you got to focus on your life and see how beautiful life really is. A lot of people complaining about the things they can't control. And they don't even understand that when you complain about the things that you can't control, it's just like saying, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. The more you say, I can't do this, I can't do that, you'll never get anything accomplished. You'll never get anything accomplished, brother. You'll never get anything accomplished because you are setting in your mindset that you can't complete it. Everybody that gets past their goals and exceeds past all that always knows in the back of their mind, no, I can do this. I can do whatever I want to do. As long as I stay focused to what I'm doing, nobody's putting a timeline on when your journey ends. As a matter of fact, you never want your journey to end. You want this journey to be forever. You want it to keep going, even when you're in your spiritual being. So, you know, that will be the energy you leave back with other people that they'll take and they can follow their journeys in a clearer path. But a lot of people don't see it that way. Because it's a selfish mindset when you're only thinking for yourself and this play is only for me, this and that. When you start thinking this play is going to help this person, that person, or they're going to think this, but this is going to help this person. Now you got something configured out that it's going to be way greater than yourself. It's going to be way greater than yourself, yo. Everybody has the same amount of time, but not everybody can do it. But, you know, within that time, not everybody can build and structure things the same within that time. Sometimes it takes people longer. So these are things that, you know, I just want to bring to you guys and let you guys know that there's other ways of doing things, man. Everybody has this structured blueprint. No, it's not. It's so many different ways you can get past things. You know what's kind of crazy? I started thinking to myself, you guys, I'm like, if we don't work together out here in America with other places, this is what happens. Like, and I'm not saying this has a connect to do with anything, but did you guys hear about Sony? They had a big outage. And not only was the PlayStation, a lot of things were affected by this outage. And it just goes to show us that, you know, not everything is, we don't own everything, and we all need to work together to make everything work. So when these types of things happen, people at that point start to realize how much they need out of that thing that got the outage. You know, in other words, so why should we have to get up to the point where things have to go out and then to realize, oh, how much we need it? No. We should figure out the things that we need, the things that we want, and we should have this structure in our head. Like, I don't really need that. Even if that goes out tomorrow, I'm so prepared that I'll be off to the next thing, you know? But for some people, you know, when you book all your everything in one thing, that's what happens. When that wipes out, then you don't know what to do with yourself. I've seen a lot of people like running with like chickens with no heads because of that. But in reality, mistakes do happen, things happen, and you got to be prepared, especially when we're dealing with technology. Don't think it's a spiritual war, but technology war as well too. You know, when it comes down to information, don't be the least thing you should be worrying about somebody stealing your information, as crazy as that sounds, because they already got your information. They got our information. Let's face it. We can act like they don't have our information and we're trying to hide this or pay this service to hide the information. Those are the people that got our information. They got our data. They got enough of us to understand who we are in their, profitable money schemes. But we know us better than that. So we know from this point on, the things that we do will not be highlighted for the things we did in our past. What we did in our past was our past. What we're doing now, how we think now, this will be the way that we are highlighted in the future, because we're no dummies. We know better than that. We see the tricks, we see the deception. Now, you guys, where's the good stuff? We passed all of that stuff. Where is the good stuff? And when we keep asking these questions and keep knocking at these people's doors, and if they don't want to open this door, we build our own doors. This is how these types of things can build structure for the people like us. Because being humble, and sometimes you have to get out of that humbleness, and sometimes you have to step down with the warriors and fight evil face to face. And that's what we're seeing as content creators. We're seeing people standing up for the more things that they believe in. More, if you believe, even if it's love, if you believe in love and you see somebody else out there and they're putting their hands on their female, of course that's going to strike a chord with you, because we don't know, maybe somebody in your family been abused, this and that. People are people. So you have to be very careful on how you paint this picture of yourself, and then next day want to go promote and sell something to the same people that you disrespected the day before. We have to wake up and realize that everybody's from different cultures, and there has to be a level of respect for each and everybody's culture, even if some of those cultures did other cultures wrong and this and that. I know, and that's not undermining that. That's just having an understanding that the past, it will only be fixed if we have a better understanding and knowing to come together to clear up these things that's in the past once affected us. Do I feel like racism is going to be wiped away? No, I don't feel that. But I also feel that we have a way that we can live more respectable and start, instead of judging people for complexion and their culture and judge people for what they have up here, and you'll always get the best results in anything you do. When you see a person is talented, there's something in that makes that gives you a trophy of knowing that that's going to be done at its best. We see a lot of bare minimum work, a lot of bare minimum ideas in these times. So we have to stay away with that. That's low vibrational. Let's just get it. That's low. That's too low vibration for you to feel like you have a success. I seen a billionaire, and he was talking about he's not leaving any money back for his kids. You see, what we understand is wealth, and what we understand is a good life. Sometimes the things that you're fighting for to achieve, you don't know the pain that comes with it when you're up there. When he said that he's not giving his family or leaving that billions back for his children, for the people that don't have it, that might have came from poverty, might look at it and say, wow, that guy, he's a mean father, man. He's wicked, this and that. But you didn't realize, for some people, that's saving his own kid's life. Because how he made that money and how he got up to the billions could have been he could have made it to $1 million and it just kept going. Sometimes your work exceeds you. But knowing that leaving that type of money, that type of responsibility that comes with that type of money back on his kids could possibly harm his family, he knows better. That's a man that reads books. That's not a man that just takes everybody's opinion and just keep it in there. No, that's a man that researches, and I understand, because I understand that. I have an understanding in that. I have an understanding to know that sometimes the legacy you think that you're going to leave for your kids could be the same thing that destroys everything that stands behind you. It's because the legacy that you're supposed to leave with your family is always supposed to start within here. If they don't know it in here, then when it gets in their hand within the money, they're going to put that in so many different places or get robbed and things like that for the company and other owners and stuff, because they don't have it up here. So when you see somebody with wealth saying that they're not leaving that money back for their children, you just got to know that life is not just about the money. It's about his accomplishments. It's about the things that brought him to that point. And if his kids can feel rooted in that, then whatever they have going could bring them to that billionaire point. You see the difference? Because usually when a billionaire dies, it's always a big court case. It's always people grabbing his arm, his leg, his hat, his shoulder, It's for the money, man. And then his family is always the ones that they have to work things out with. But yeah, they're gonna get something and they're gonna be millionaires or whatever. But the same point is, you never know what you leave back could be detrimental to the people that don't know how to have that responsibility to work with it. So it's all about up here, and it's all about knowing everybody has a different, a different screw in the toolbox. Sometimes it doesn't have to be the money you leave back with your kids or your family. Sometimes it could just be the jewels and the things that makes you who you are, so they can take a little bit of that and be strong within whatever they want to do. It's not going to be everybody like a Bronny with LeBron, because it doesn't weigh up, does it? When LeBron came in, it was a completely different, step in than when his son came in. It's just because the hunger is different. The struggle is different. The lineage is different. The times are different. And if you don't adapt to that, it will never fit. Here's a quote from myself that, I always give you guys original quotes. In a world of gatekeepers, intelligence is the key. The more you know and have better understanding, there's no such thing as a gatekeeper, because you build your journey. Gatekeepers are for people that they're going through the same gate. You have to build a path that's new to you. There's so much more to do in this world than just become an entertainer. And not saying that those things are wrong to do, but it's just like, don't get stuck on that stuff. Don't get stuck on that stuff. Let people do what they do, and you still find you and what you want to do. Because you're going to understand that the littlest things and the little things you love and like doing are going to be the biggest things that for you the more older you get. And that's the reason why some people take their knowledge and talk down on people, while other people take their knowledge and try to just make it easier for people to understand and grow and build them up. It's not about what's in my pockets. It's about you guys understanding what people are not going to be able to do, what they did to people in the past, with guys like myself in the forefront, letting you guys know what it really is about. That's the tie that feels good for me. That fits me. Just before he's about to say he's this, he's that. Wait, hold on. Let me tell you what he really is. I don't mind being in that place. Feels good. Good Monday morning, all my good people, man. How y'all doing? How y'all doing out there, man? I'm hoping everybody's feeling good, man. If we're not coming together, what are we doing? What are we doing? When somebody gets shot in New York, I don't look to see what his skin complexion is. No. I'm looking to see, like, wow, where's his family? How are they doing? Are they standing there? Where's his mother? Where's his father? These are the things that are really more to care about than just pointing the finger and saying you this and that. Look, you see how many gangs they just took out? They're not playing out here in New York. These gangs, they're out of here, man. No, they're not gonna enjoy any more summers. Trust me. I'm telling you, all that toughness, the stocks are down. No good. No good. Being tough just makes you a target. On another note, healing energy. I don't know if you guys heard this. One of my favorites of all time, somebody I can say he's a leader in his work. He's a leader outside of his work. And he is a great representation for our black people and in black culture. And that's Denzel Washington. I read somewhere that Denzel had bit his tongue at a time. He bit his tongue off, and he was trying to heal from that. And he was saying that it switched up his voice and everything, and he's healing from it. And I just want for everybody to know, when it comes down to Denzel, certain actors, I don't play about I love the movies. Certain guys like Denzel, being that he is a stand-up guy outside of his work, that makes me love his work even that much more. So healing energy to Denzel, and I know he's, when it comes, his work is already there. His work is already laid out, man. Every movie, Denzel, the best. So I just hope that he could heal and get better, because, the older we get, it takes a little longer to heal. But everybody, man, send some healing energy out to Denzel if that is a thing. I just wanted to make sure I get that out to you guys. And I have to check and see his last. Well, I'm gonna take a look at his catalog again, because I'm always looking to see if what I miss. Pretty sure it's not too many. What else we got here? Oh, this is one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. Okay, so I was just talking. We're gonna go back to Detroit. So in Detroit, I've seen a story where a father and his son were walking, and a group of guys ran down on his father and son, and they ended up killing the son. And one thing that sparked my mind when they was telling this story, you guys, was that the guys, they said when they ran down on him, they said, "Give me your money and give me your jewelry." And right there, a light bulb just went off again in my head. Listen to the youth. Just because you are with your parents does not mean that when you have that, you know what's going on. You have a chain around your neck that's probably, and I'm not saying that you can't wear a chain, but what I'm trying to say is you have to understand your environment before you start putting on and trying to put on this and be all this junk stuff that can get people killed in these times. You have to understand that you put your father's life in jeopardy too. Just because your parents is around, like it's just like saying bodyguard. You thinking if a bodyguard was walking with somebody with $500,000 or whatever worth of jewelry on, do you think a bodyguard is gonna be able to stop what's gonna happen to? No. So I just felt bad with the whole situation, and they're trying to film the guy, and he's behind the door because he might feel embarrassed. And in my head, I said, I won't feel embarrassed, but you know, as parents, you have to know if your kid is into a gang. You have to know what type of friends they're around, what influences them, as far as jewelry, money, you know, sport. If they're influenced by sports and things like that, then they might be off to the right route. Oh, when I get to the NBA, I'm gonna get that like LeBron, that Rolls Royce. Oh, I'm the mansion. That's different than saying, let me. I want to dress like Young Thug, and I'm gonna throw on some jewelry, and not just to use Young Thug. I like Young Thug. Throwing some jewelry, and I'm gonna go out there, and I'm with my father today, and nothing can happen. No, you just put your father's life in jeopardy. We don't know what you guys got going on. The youth right now, they got this back and forth thing, whereas, they feel like they can't solve a problem without somebody being canceled out. And that type of energy right there, it doesn't just cancel one person, it cancels both of you guys. They don't see that part yet. They feel like jail or prison is just like a slight vacation or like a quick vacation. No, it's not. It's really not. Not only does it take out chunks of your life, a lot of the guys that you've seen that in our past that went to prison, these guys have been enlightened. They're not in there thinking the same way that you think they are, like they want to be in the streets. No, a lot of guys go in there and understand their wrongs, and they're living in peace with that. So don't think that you're going to go in there and you're just going to see the OGs and they're going to be telling you, no, a lot of the OGs got this now. They're smart now. They're not going in there with that same mindset. So don't just think that you're going to go in jail and everybody going to be a knucklehead. Not the people from my age. A lot of the OGs coming out, they don't have that type of mindset. So it just goes to show you it's all about the times. A lot of the guys that went into prison from in the past, I have family members that have been in prison. A lot of the guys that went into prison from the past, the situations were different that led them into these situations. Nowadays, the situations that getting these youth in prison, these are situations that could be avoided. In the past, you coming up in Brooklyn, Queens, a lot of stuff you couldn't really avoid like that. And it wasn't as gruesome as much people as would think. These were fights within the community, within these people. But these people nowadays, they're killing more innocent people than a war. So you have to start realizing the times is gonna set. It's not the same types. You'll see a lot of guys that maybe say back, because I have people that they made their mistakes, and some are still in prison, and they know the difference, because the reason why I know they know a difference, because even like one of my mans, he ended up hurting somebody, shooting somebody, and he ended up in prison. But when he always came around me, we had like always like a different discussion, man. Shouts out to Jay Chronic. We always had a different discussion, and I just feel like I want my peoples to know that, like, it's your environment that brings out a certain character within you, because somebody could call him this and that, but I could tell you he's a good guy. I could tell you that guy, he sit with me, he's a good guy. He doesn't, I could tell you his past or what might have led him to trigger him. That it's all in defense. But somebody looking in from another way, like, that he's one of this. So you don't really get to know who the person really is when you pick up a gun and you choose that route. You don't get to know who that person is. A lot of the OGs from the past that made mistakes, they understand the mistakes they made, and they're looking for better opportunities or better ways to show people to change. Now the youth coming in trying to be what they used to be. Does it make any sense? No. Nobody's going down that route just throwing their life away for a piece of drugs, a piece of money, this and that. Because I'm gonna tell you the truth. The money you get rid of it, you blow it, you're gonna need some more money again. It ain't like you saving it, putting it somewhere where it's stacking up, right? So you know you blowing it on nonsense. I mean, to dress one way is one thing, but to feel is another. If you feel good about yourself, you don't gotta be running to the mall every 2 weeks or every week you go to the mall. Every day you run into the mall to grab a shirt. Yo, you're doing too much. In these times you fit. Look, let me tell you, at the end of the day, you know, even when you pass away, you don't really get to pick your suit. So have some good people around you to know what your favorite suit would look like. Use this. That's what it's all about. Love on your peoples. You know, it's I see a lot of people you're looking at people that don't know how to structure a family, and you're sitting with your family at home. You got to take this and try to understand why people lost themselves. When you put money into play, people look at you different. Okay. When you dress a certain way, people look at you different. Okay. So now you have control of how you look, right? Your perception on the people. Don't wear none of that stuff, because if they're going to look at you that way, they're not going to understand what you have in here. Let them understand you from in here first before they can start pointing out, oh, did he wearing this or wearing that? Don't let the material things take over your story. A lot of these people, their story is covered in some nonsense designer. Does it make sense? No. The dream of the person that made that designer, he's living out his dreams because he has other people thinking that their dream is putting on his stuff. And that it's not that you can't wear other people's clothes and things like that, but you have to understand, and everything has a story behind it that's successful. And if you don't understand within that story, you'll just keep falling into the trap, whatever he's doing, whatever they're wearing, whatever he's listening to. You don't want to fall into those things. Try to be the person that what you're doing highlights for other people to do, instead of you waiting for somebody else to do it. And you'll always come out on top. And like I always told you guys, you see, even, and not to bring up Irv Gotti's situation, but like I tell you guys, you can have $300, $400 million. Number one, we don't get that much life of living. So the time that we do have with each other, it takes a lot. Now you're worried about a number, but you're forgetting about your dreams, the things that you really love in life. You might not even need that much money to live a happy life, where somebody needs all of that money because they don't know what life is about, and they need more and more money in their mind to fulfill this fake imaginary thought that they're gonna be somewhere standing on some podium or some stage. It don't make sense. It don't make sense at all. See, I learned that a while back, that you know, sometimes what you feel like God hasn't set for you might not be the best for you. And once you let go of that, then you start realizing, wait, hold on, this is perfect. Like, I'm making money, I'm doing my thing, and at the same point, I'm not really like having to like try to step on somebody's toes or say he ain't that to get somewhere. The more you get into that space, you fall victim of every other person that just looked down on people and just had that jealous tendency. That's the thing that really kills you inside. It's that jealous bone. And you know, sometimes your selfishness for others is the same thing that ruins you, because you're selfish to yourself. In other words, you're selfish the way you go out there and you put on this fake you to people, and now when you come home, you're still selfish with yourself because you believe in that fake you, and now it becomes a part of you, and you lose sense of who you really are. And when you really figure it out, I gotta find myself, it's always too late. When you think of money, just think of that as the only thing that's going to funnel just to keep things operating. Don't think that that's the thing that you need to be you, or you know, build what you have going. People, you can start building your life and start changing your life without money attached to it. I'm telling you, man, trust me, if you will understand that you have, just picture you had all the money you wanted, and now somebody that they swear they're in love with you, you can't even tell if somebody's in love with you or your money or your status. You know how scary of a life that is? Than being just that random person, and then when they fall in love with you, realize that you do have money in that bank account. There's a completely difference. It's a complete difference. It's a way of knowing that the person that loves themselves or the person that loves what everybody thinks of them. It's two different types of thinking right there. And when you figure that out, you start realizing now you don't have to be this person for everybody. You know, not everybody deserves to see everything or understand what really makes you tick. So, you know, I'm hoping you guys today at 12 p.m. I know you guys are going to love this video. This video is going to go around. This conversation is going to go around. And I don't want to blow the surprise, but I'm telling you at 12 p.m. tune in. I might put a little I might put a little premiere out for it. I'll put a premiere out for it. And another thing, shouts out to Samuel L. Jackson. That was legendary. You know, doing the Super Bowl half show is definitely a mark in history because, you know, sports, it lives on, and people always look at the halftime shows, the commercials that were out and things like that. Really, 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 a really dope way to have Samuel Jackson there. Just legends with legends, greats with greats. It's always gonna come from that same plate, if that makes any sense. So I love the fact that was there too. Brought me back. Let me see. I have another thing I wanted to bring to you guys. Hold on. I really want to tell y'all what this video is about. And I know the ladies are going to be on fire with this one, boy. And fellas, I want y'all to add to this conversation too. At 12 p.m., I want y'all to really add to this conversation. It's something we got to talk about. So if you're new to this channel, make sure y'all subscribe right now. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, and share. It helps grow the channel. It helps grow the conversation. And yeah. Hold on. And Wu-Tang, if anybody knows anybody from Wu-Tang listening, please drop that album. I'm hoping this is true with that Wu-Tang album. That'd be really, really dope. Maybe that's just a selfish, but yeah, no, I know a lot of people would love to hear that album. That's just another thing. Let me see, any new songs that I could add to my playlist? You know what? Shouts out to Cassidy. Cassidy dropped a dope song. And it's kind of, I'm not saying it's like a wrap-up, but it kind of had like the 2024 wrap-up feel. So I want you guys to go check that out too. Cassidy is another MC that respects the penmanship really dope, can make great music as well as battle rap, and he's found the medium in between. So yeah, it's a really dope song. I'm gonna really go back and check that out today. I'm gonna be checking out a few things, I'm looking for new music to add to the playlist because I could listen to something over and over and over and over. I listen to Nas all day, mixed in with a little Griselda mixed in. It's just like every time I get something from a playlist, it just goes in there. Little Jay's in there. Got a lot of people on my playlist that I really, Kendrick's in there, Drake's in there, a lot of people's in there. I got a lot of MCs, man. Shouts out to all the content creators that just out there just doing your thing. I hope everybody's just up to their good energy at this point. And we need each other. So, you know, people out there just, you know, pay attention to your health. I know I am myself, and I'm making sure what I eat, my intake is always, you know, it's not going to be affect me, you know. So pay attention. The older we get, we have to understand that our bodies are temple, and we have to realize that what we put in it is going to be detrimental to how long we have on this earth. But it's no beefing and nothing like that, because even in our spiritual, our presence is felt. You understand? You underdig? I love you guys, all my people out NYC. LA, what's up, man? Y'all got one, man. Once again, the celebration continues. Kendrick Lamar, congratulations, bro. I mean, I know you're happy because what you was fighting for, I know what you was fighting for, you did it. So salute. And yeah, everybody that's tuned in, if you missed this from the beginning, you could bring it back. And 12 p.m. y'all stay tuned. I got you. All right, love.